down to if you'd like. Might as well get comfortable if we're gonna be here for a while.
Yep. Alright, let me get my notes ready. Let's see here.
Alrighty. I'm all ready for questions. There's a few I could see myself probably just having to come up with an answer on the spot.
Alright. As a as a form of introduction, my name is Baz.
Alrighty.
I come as the radio host
Nice to
of
meet you.
Black Lake Radio and of East Coast News. About the only radio station that's been active as of recently.
As of
Um,
recently, yes.
I'm joined here by Gasper over here on my right, and my buddy co-host here on my left. Oh, what the? My neck just broke. And what would your name be, sir?
For animosity, you could call me Victor.
Victor. And
Yeah.
assuming you are a part of the ranks of the
The establishment,
establishment,
yes.
what would your rank be?
I would say former leader, as we had to make a change for a deal that occurred. As of right now, I see myself as second in command to the former president, Twisted,
Okay.
and for the time being, we're trying to rebuild what has occurred.
All right. Well, as you may know, I myself am a part of the CDC, as is Gasper and my co-host here. We are hoping for peace and prosperity of the Badlands, with a good
Of
of
course,
monetary
yeah.
growth as everyone else does. Um, what is your faction and what do they do?
Our faction is it was originally built to be a working market, kind of like how you would see traders, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
was going to be civilian run. So with us, we wanted to sell houses to anyone that wanted to live here, and those people they could start their own little shops here. So let's say you wanted to be a builder, you could do that. You'd buy a place somewhere here in town, we'd help you set up shop, and at some point we may have a tax depending on what was sold at the time or the amount of revenue you have at the time. So let's say you make 2500, give or take, we'd probably take 600, 700 because we don't want to take too much from you.
Okay. So I'd say sort of a friendly marketplace everybody could come to.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'd say
Uh,
so, yeah.
well, with that, what are your thoughts on the recent radio communications that have been transpiring over the news? What people have said and what people have done. What's your thoughts on it? Well, we can get
I
to the
was
done
away from the
part, but
Badlands for I've been away from the Badlands for uh about maybe like half of a month. The president sent me on a, let's say, mission to go find something because as we know there were on the island we have zombies or just infected individuals with uh super virus or whatever. It's basically super rabies is what we come to understand it as, right? What we ascertained is I had to go find out if I could find something as one of our individuals had come down with the symptoms. Um, they are fine now, but I wasn't able to acquire what was needed. But I'm back now from my mission, and what I heard when I arrived, or before I got back, I would say it was an unprovoked attack from the sanctuary, but I still am looking into the later, like the later communications.
okay. Uh, anything to add on to the intercepted communications that I posted up there too?
The intercepted communications, which were them moving into defensive positions, right?
Yes. Yes.
I would say, in my opinion, it's kind of entertaining that. they decided after our reply to what they posted were to move their defenses almost immediately afterwards. They know as of right now we are currently needing to rebuild. So the fact that they assumed we would immediately go on the offensive is laughable at best. So I would just say I find it entertaining, and I do wish that they continue to entertain the establishment as we work to a better future.
Okay. What is your thoughts on the sanctuary and their recent actions? If you wish so, we can add the aftermath to the footage, if that is what you're wishing.
I would I would love to show you the aftermath of what they've done. For a while now, I didn't think much of the sanctuary as I don't recall meeting much of its members. I think I only met like one at the time. I can't recall their name as of this moment, but I didn't think much of them. I didn't think they would do something like this, and I had hoped at some point in the future that their community would have come to trade in our town or other such things. And the recent attacks on the establishment and the alliance that we have with the Inglorious Bastards, which, as you know, they do have a reputation for being aggressive. I would say that currently the evidence that they have, or what they say they have, is not enough to have provoked an attack against either of our factions. And what I'm saying right now is they say they have evidence that it was us, but have they provided any of this evidence to show for it? Do they have a flag? Do they have a name? Do they actually have anything to show that it was us? That's what I'm that's what I'm thinking the entire time that I'm here, seeing what they've done to us. It
You
hurts my
are.
soul. It hurts what
You
we
go ahead.
did.
Go ahead. You were talking about in reference to the brown warehouse base that was just outside of Slunichi, if I am correct. Yes?
From what I recall, is all they said was that they had found explosives cache somewhere near their town, and if I recall correctly, none of us had been in that area or anywhere near Solnitsny because we have no reason to be in that area. There's nothing there that we would even want.
I'm just gonna keep my little piece on it. Uh, I don't know if many know, but my shop is in that area. I don't know if any like to trade there.
Oh, apologies, apologies,
All good, all good.
apologies
Do
if that was insulting.
do you have any questions, or does any of the guys beside me have any questions about the matters?
No, but I could add something. And is that even if the establishment was not an instigator of the whole situation, you guys make it clear that the president and the whole Northern Alliance and all that are going to quote unquote cook the sanctuary, and that could be a threat. And sometimes it's better to be proactive than reactive. That could also trigger the attacks.
And I understand that, but from my point of view, and well, mostly my point of view, as not many of our members has commented on this or has talked about it in, I'd say, our private radio channel. Um, I find I understand that they were if they were threatened by the Northern Alliance, that is something that they should have talked to us about instead of moving on us. And I understand, yes, we could have lied or we could have done something else, but given the time that they have been on this island and the fact that we have never made a single move on the sanctuary, don't you think that's a little strange for them to move on us without either commenting or trying to make contact with us and seeing what our future plans were?
I don't really find it uncommon because let's start. It wasn't an attack on the establishment as a whole, as a only organization, right? It was an attack on the entire alliance. You guys happen to have most of the loot, unfortunately, and you guys took the hit harder. But it wasn't an attack against you guys as the establishment.
Still, it was a massive blow to our revenue stream at the time.
Yep.
And to us, revenue is many things. It's finding loot on this island, or finding very valuable items. And sure, if anyone was to get to these items, we were also we would have been happy to trade with the sanctuary had they asked or more than likely made contact with us. And I think we could have put out more ads that we've been wanting people to come to our town to help build up our market. But at the same time, though, my mind is more set on the loss of what we've had and the fact that we need to get what we get the money back. Not from them, but just overall, we need to rebuild and scavenge for more items. And maybe in the future, the Sanctuary and us can come to an agreement at trading and other such things, so this never happens again in the future.
As of the next question, you kind of beat me to it, but what are your possible thoughts on the possible peace deal that is in the works already? As you may have heard on the radio, that Sanctuary wishes for a, what was it? What was your words, Gosper?
What words, sorry?
The commentary you came to us with when you first arrived at the radio station.
Oh yeah, they want peace. They just want to make sure that you guys want to or are able to sign that truce. Or if you guys are going to stay in the hostile alliance that is apparently fading since there is rumors that Chao is not even going to be playing. So, to my
Do you mean
understanding, and I
remaining
don't
on the
want to talk
island?
in
Do you remain? Do you mean remaining on the island?
Yeah.
the alliance, I meant.
Well, I get that, but
That and the playing.
yeah,
Like, Dylan, you've had your own skirmishes, I think it's the word, with Chao. Do you remember when Chao
yeah.
was calling war upon the establishment?
That was during the first couple days of. Hold on. All right, there we go. Anyways, as it was the first couple days of the development of the establishment. During that time, we were in a wrongful alliance with a faction that at the time was hurting people. And during this time, Chow came to me and offered a alliance as long as I left the one that I was currently in. And he is the only person that I genuinely fear on this island, as I fear the power that he and his associate Daza. I fear them, but at the same time, though, I feel like it's not necessary to fear them as what we have going on. I haven't had contact with them for a while now, but I wasn't listening to the radio earlier as I have lost my handheld radio earlier. But I
Sorry to
like.
sorry to
Hmm,
interrupt, but why is it you fear Chow when he's been proven to not be as strong as he has been in the past?
just from what I've remembered, or from what he, it's just mostly him and then Daza. Those two. I would say Daza is someone I also fear. It's mostly because I'm not good with a rifle. Well, I am, but it's just not good enough. If I ended up getting into a gunfight with someone, they more than likely would be able to injure me severely.
Hmm.
That was a very good dog impression, by the way.
I do have to say that I've seen Taza working, and Like Chao uses him as a threat because he can use Daza as a threat. Like the guy is the Hulk of that faction.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my
Is there?
dog in my bag.
Ah, okay. Is there any more questions, or would you care to? Oh wait, did I elaborate on the peace thing yet?
The what did you say?
The
What was
peace agreement.
the peace agreement?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the truce. Yeah.
I hadn't heard the radio as I earlier I got into a scuffle with an infected individual, as we refer to them as zombies, or what the majority calls them. But the establishment knows them as infected individuals with a super rabies, basically. I got into a scuffle with a infected individual, and they ended up stepping on my radio while I was procuring things. But I hadn't caught the radio at the time, as I only got the message later on. But the idea of a peace agreement, as in my mind, I would like to have peace with them as long as they can help us requisition the lost assets, or at least compensate us for what was lost during the assault on the Northern Alliance. And I'll
I
still
don't
go
think a
through with it as long
full.
as they can help with if they can help with moving forward. So I'm okay with it, I'd say.
All right. Like on raid weekend, anything could happen. Last weekend, what was lost, I would say it's lost. However, us, the syndicate, something completely different. I can help you get some of those assets back. However, this comes with a promise of you guys not just getting the first opportunity to rearm and start another fight.
I would say I don't know the terms of the deal,
Right.
but it would be agreeable for the peace to come through with it, for everyone to lay down their arms in a sense, bury the hatchet. That's a better way of putting it.
For both
And of
sides.
course, if we're acting as a quote unquote messenger right now, I would also like the president and the leader of your faction to actually meet with the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Sorry for the baby in the background, if you guys can hear it. But
Good
yes,
impression.
you guys need to meet
Yeah, good impression.
and
That's a good baby impression.
you guys need to meet. And honestly, you guys are part of an alliance that is not working out for you guys. Like, I guess Chao is someone that can imprint fear on others. He's a strong leader. I give him that. He has some good soldiers. But where are those soldiers? You guys lost a lot of shit. Were they there or here to defend you or help you fight? No, they were not.
Yeah, and you make a very valid argument. I do hope that the current leader of the establishment, Twisted, I hope he listens to this radio message later. As I informed him I would be doing this interview, so I do hope later on he will listen to it. Also, I have been informed that he will be getting back to the island later. He
Okay.
had to go deal with some things off the island. As we know, the infection hasn't spread to the rest of the world, so he had to currently leave the country to go talk with some people. But he'll be back later on. He said more than likely he'll be gone for a couple hours, but he'll be back. So if you are all still available during that time, I do think he may be willing to do an interview on his behalf.
That sounds awesome.
All right, I will give you my handheld radio so you have access to our program pretty much.
Alrighty.
And since we came here, I hope when he gets in here, if he ever gets in here tonight,
You
that he
mean when he
goes
gets back
to
on
the
the
radio
island?
station. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the radio. I would love to have everybody meet at the radio. Then we could have a little fishing tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been fishing internal reefs for a while now, but I would love to try and catch some fish. But would you care to see the damage that was dealt to us during the assault on the Northern Alliance?
Yes, might as well.
Alrighty.
Let's get video footage of the damage.
My eyes are being a little weird. The platform we were on, I can't see where the rest of it is. Then
Right
again,
here.
I didn't get much sleep, so where am I? Oh, there we go. But there was lunch during the. I woke up earlier today, and there was a lot of damage. They had completely removed our everything. Wait, is this open? Okay. This is what ended up occurring.
Oh
The
my.
vehicle was already like that, but they took the doors off it. Um, it looks like they also took a lot of. We had building supplies here. Looks like they also took some. They took the two trucks that we currently. We had two trucks in here with the assets that were mentioned earlier in the interview.
Okay.
Um,
Well, in
but
good faith and as an effort to get this truce, the syndicate can provide one of those trucks.
I
The
would
other, the
I
other
would much
one,
appreciate that.
yeah, the other one is probably lost. Like, I honestly, we
Don't
don't
question
have
the
any
thing in the
base.
corner.
I do ask
But
what is that? What is that supposed to be?
uh, originally it was to keep infected individuals, but it didn't work out too well for the last guy that tried getting one in there.
Ah,
He may or may not have gotten beaten to death by three of them, but he was a volunteer, and we also paid the family a good amount of money. But
okay.
that would that would more than that's probably as much as I can show you without worry of showing off the rest of what we have. But
All right.
yeah, for the time being, I will more than likely be staying awake for the rest of the night until I can requisition a new gate.
All right.
But
Well,
it was
I've been,
wonderful doing this interview, and I do hope to attend another one later down the line, hopefully in better situations.
it was a pleasure.
Well, honestly, you
Yep.
can come with us to safe zone, and I can give you that truck. It's gonna be easier for you. Start building back.
And this concludes the interview.
Yeah, I
Yep.
would love that.